Growing up, I drank the Kool-Aid of my parents' and community's beliefs. I made that belief system more important than my own needs and happiness. Looking back, I can't fault anyone for that, not even quote-unquote God. I now have clarity in decisions and choices I make. I'm fully engaged in finding joy in my life, in my own way, without the influence and construct of others. This is an uplifting discussion from there to now.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Amanda wants to know why her microphone has to be so close to her face.
It needs to be closer.
Oh, man.
There you go.
It's really uncomfortable.
Just pretend
I
it's a
know.
typical Friday night.
And I love to. This is Amanda's first time on the podcast with us. Thanks for joining us. And I have Beverly Whipple.
Cherry
And I
pumpkin.
loved how you were listening to the intro and you're like, yeah.
I was jamming out.
Yeah. You're like, truth.
Truth.
Yeah.
Speak it, queen.
It's good.
I'm in the right place.
You are. Absolutely. So we are revisiting dating because it's been almost a year since we last talked about it.
There's been so much
So
fun.
many things.
Sweet Lord.
So many understandings, so many learnings, so many
Character
growth,
development.
and let's see what
Yeah.
else. So many know what to do more clearly for ourselves.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Clarity, more clarity.
Clarity, for sure.
Yeah. And there's no right, wrong, good or bad. It's just honestly, I think dating is about learning clarity about yourself and what your wants and needs are. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, which we've learned. Yes.
Which we've learned. Would you please share?
Oh, dear. Well, I was engaged. The whole relationship lasted 6.5 months. So it was like a 6.5 month little deviation from my normal life. So the last time I was here, I was on the dating sabbatical, right? I went on this dating sabbatical for 3 months, and I can't be a liar. It lasted for 2.5 months, and then dick happened. So
She got distracted.
I did. It was distracted.
Distracted.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, she knows.
Or
And-
digmatized.
You digmatize it, whatever it was, and that lasted I don't know what, like 2 months. See, that's the thing, is 2.5 months, and then their mask slips, and then I stayed single a little bit longer, and then met the current now ex fiance, and that, like I said, that lasted for 6.5 months. We were engaged at exactly 4 months, so it was very, very whirlwind. But oh man, I have learned so much about myself, and I actually thanked him when I broke things off. Like, thank you for bringing this perspective to me, for bringing me all the good things you did. Now I can weed through it and pick out what I want to keep. But there was lots of perspective because I did live with this person, and he was there with my kids and everything. And so, yeah, lots of great character development happened. I'm no longer getting married, and I am single again. So
Happily?
yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, you left with a great big sigh of relief,
I did.
saying, "What did you say to me?
I don't know.
I'll never do this again.
I will never do this
Don't ever have to be in a relationship. I don't ever
Absolutely.
need to be in a relationship. I can
Absolutely.
do this all on my own. I don't need someone."
Yeah, and it took a man to cause me to realize I really don't need a man. I've built my entire empire. And my ex-husband was there, but he had nothing to really do with it. No, this was all my hard work. And then talking with Amanda, we always joke that we live our lives parallel to each other, but then every now and then they cross, and then we're back to parallel. So I would say we're coming out of a crossing where she was dating somebody, and this was somebody who was very special to her. And then now her daughter has come into her life more full time. I'll let you tell the story. But yeah, so we're happily single, like so happily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I was very invested into a relationship. And it was like, I've been single for 5.5 years, and he came into my life, and I really felt like he was the one, like really, really, like he was a solid human being.
Uh-oh. Microphone adjustment.
Still wasn't close
Closer.
enough.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, see, do you hear how sultry your voice sounds, though, when you speak into it?
No.
Just go like this.
Oh, goodness.
Oh goodness.
There we go.
Okay.
See, Sean's accomplished exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so yeah, that relationship didn't work out. He's still a solid human being, but his work is, taken over. So, so when that ended, it really put things in perspective for me to, figure out like, what am I attracting? And I have always like attracted these, unsavory people.
Pretty much.
And so when he came around, I really put in my heart, my future, everything. And then when it didn't work out, I was like, I got to take a step back and reassess who I am. Mm-hmm. And then when my daughter moved in full time, it felt everything was just in alignment, that this was all meant to be. I wasn't meant to be with him. It felt like it, but her coming into my life is like, no, we're supposed to do this together as a team, just her and I, to do this life stuff together. And it's been incredible. I feel like I'm just every day I'm on cloud 9 with her.
She's one of the people we were just talking shit about. Thanks for proving us wrong.
What?
I know. I was just thinking about our last podcast we just did on parenting.
It's great. You
It's
can
so
see yourself
great.
out now.
I want her to live with me. And we're all like, fuck no, run the other way.
Sunshine's different. She's very she's what you would think a little girl named Sunshine would be. Like she is what her name is, and she's always been very easy and I don't know.
Well, that's really good. That's very refreshing. But back to
sweet.
dating.
It's very rare. It's very rare because I have
So
a
nice
son.
for you.
I know.
Fuck off. Well, then there was, and of course, there's an anomaly of a situation where she just moved in with you full time, and so the older that she's gotten, the more that you've wanted to, to proverbial hold on to her, and she's your daughter. Whereas, like, I've got 2 boys and whatnot, but
I mean, I had a
scenario,
daughter
but
too,
good
but
for
it
you.
wasn't like all warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
I through her, I feel like how we're all trying to heal our inner child. But her coming into my life full time, like she's always next to me. I'm like, I accidentally called her my twin sister's name, Erica. And that caught me by surprise because I'm like, I really feel like I'm tuning into like my little girl self when I'm with her. And I am healing this part that we're in relationships to, I don't know. We
Learn
try to
about ourselves.
learn about ourselves.
grow.
But there's a certain part that you can't learn.
I think there's a maturity level that comes with being in a relationship with someone versus not. Definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to mature very quickly because now you have another person, and especially one that lives with you, and this for a significant other. But then when you bring the kids in,
Yeah.
now it's really wild. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like she's 13 and I'm like tuning into like my 13-year-old self, and I
That's
found
awesome.
a box of pictures that I thought I lost, and I'm showing her and pictures of you, and it's like, wow, like
Okay,
it's-
but now that you have her living at home with you, what stage are you at with dating? Like, tell me, what are you doing?
non-existent. I
Did you choose that? Are you choosing that?
yeah, it was this really it was so enlightening in this divine moment, euphoric feeling of letting it go, this nagging thing in my mind that was constantly lit there for romantic connection, emotional connection with a male. And when she came in, it was just like I let that part go, and I was like, I restructured the narrative that I made in my head of what I thought partnership would be to me, my partner for life. And I looked at her, I'm like, she's my partner. Like, we're going to do this life thing together and grow together and learn from each other.
But do you need a partner?
No,
I think that's
no,
what
I my sovereignty is,
It almost puts a little bit of pressure on your daughter too to be in a partnership with
I
you.
could see that.
When
totally.
really it's more like a parenting, wouldn't you say? I feel like we're going back to the last podcast.
I know. I was like, she should have been on the last
I
podcast.
know.
She's the
Right? But
the yin of the yang.
I think that kind of shows like a dependence, a codependence that has been literally fed to us that we think that we need, right?
Yeah.
We think that we need someone or something in our life to thrive with and on.
Well, absolutely.
100% all the time. Do we always have to be attached to this person? Do we have to have the same interests and do all the same things all the time?
Yeah.
I think we can be individual beings and still be in relationships and have different interests and passions and still love each other and have a really fucking good time.
You know,
And
you're really right on that. Making a point of that, of she is my purpose, but not making her like my full like purpose in life. And I've been very self-aware of that, of like my attachment styles and the codependency, because I have, along with the rest of us, have had codependency issues. So the self-awareness of that, of not being like her being my everything. So
yeah, don't put pressure on her to do
Oh,
that.
I know.
You need to teach her non-codependency. Like teach her to be independent. to do things
Oh, yeah.
independently. That's what we all need to be doing for ourselves, right?
Agreed,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously for kids too. So
Yeah.
back to dating though.
Well, and so that codependency, I mean, I think that's very much part of this dating, you know. And for me, like I said, it took a man for me to realize I didn't need a man. I'm like, no,
Same. That happened to me 4 years ago.
I really don't need a partner. Yes, I feel like my idea of a partner would be nice, and yes, help me raise my kids, and yes, be there for the times that I really need somebody or want somebody. But no, I don't need anybody.
Right.
I
And
don't
when we
need
perceive
anything,
that
just
we
me.
need someone in our
Yes.
life, we make a
Yep.
lot of settling. We settle
Yes.
on a lot of things that are important to us.
And expectations on the other person.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that for the most part, I mean, and I've had conversations with guys and they say girls are like this too. So, you know, there's unhealthy males and unhealthy females. And there's aware men and there are aware women. And so it's just a matter of matching with that, you know, with the like-mindedness. Because it seems that in the past, and I'm 8 years older than you guys. So I went through that whole experience 4 years ago where I was like, fuck this shit. I do not need to be in a relationship. Like, I can do this all on my own. I have been doing this all on my own. Why did I bring on this anomaly that just literally made me get to the realization that I never fucking want a man in my life again? Like, I don't have to go into details, but man, did that get cemented into me so hardcore.
Yes.
And I took a break. I took a sabbatical of dating and sex and everything for about 1.5 years.
And see, that's kind of, I mean, where I am was I was jolted so hard in this relationship. I'm like, oh, yep, nope, don't need that. I don't need it. And it was, like you said, it was a huge sigh of relief when I saw my out and I took it. And I was just like, oh, no, never again. And it would run through my head probably the last couple of months that we were together. It's like, man, I really just miss, again, doing me, kind of like we talked in this last podcast, was my kids are always around. I can't escape from them. I just want to do me.
Right? And you lose
Yeah.
yourself in your relationships.
Yep.
That's the other part about codependency. And so, like, you stopped crafting.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
stopped
yeah.
reading your books at night. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's so vital. There's nothing wrong with relationships or dating as long as you don't lose yourself in it.
Yeah.
Right?
And that happens because now you're trying to I think for me, this is only for me. I'm not trying to be anything other than who I am. But some people do not have that, and they are trying everything to be who they are not. And then it still holds true at that 2.5, 3 month mark. Their mask slips, and you're like, oh, now I see you. Well, then I was the idiot who just kept looking past it, like, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But really, no. And you need to know yourself to be able to know what are my hard no's, what are my I'm genuinely okay with that. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm genuinely okay with it too. You told me this and I am not okay with it. This is a deal breaker for me. So we have to know ourselves, and we can't do that unless we're with ourselves. And so I love what Amanda's got going on right now. Right now I have no interest in any of it. And anytime my brain starts drifting to man, I'm like, no.
What about sex?
We'll do another podcast on that one.
Oh.
I, of course, would love to still have that. Right now, though, I'm just like this tender, wounded, broken little warrior, and I'll get back up. I'm already up. I just got to get my armor back on. But I'm like, I
Maybe you
just
don't
no
even need to
interest
get
right
your
now.
armor back on. Maybe what you need to do is just become whole again.
Fill my voids with plastic silicone toys.
That always helps too.
It does. I was telling her about how my son knocked on the door when I was just about to get to do something really exciting for myself last night. And I'm like, it's 10 o'clock, go to bed. Now I live in terror and fear that he's going to knock on my door at any old time he wants. So I still have that for myself. I'll make sure they're not home. But honestly, like that is just that is lower than men at this point is sex, which is funny. But I don't have no interest in that. And I think that I do, but I'm like, no, I don't. Because I'll tell her like, oh, there's this boy I want to kiss or whatnot. And she's just like, oh, yep, you'll get past that, or I have. And now it's like every day I'm like, I just don't have any interest. I just don't. But then again, I didn't have any interest 6.5 months ago when I texted you, Heather, and said, oh man, I'm so done with dating. And then 5 minutes later, that person walked into my life. So I trust my visions, right? Trust my gut. Back then, I was done with dating. And the universe was like, but are you?
Oh, yeah.
Are
Testing you.
Yeah. And so now I'm like, test me. Bring it on. Let's do it. All right. And I'll probably fall down some rabbit hole again. I'll be back here dating 103 like, oh, well, I got married for a minute. That was fun.
No, don't say that, please.
Just kidding. I will not
Oh
get
my
married.
God.
Jeez.
That just
But yeah.
literally like put shivers through my body.
And not in a
of
good way.
revulsion.
Yeah, revulsion. Yeah. Man, it was. So yeah, and just learning about yourself, and Amanda now learning what it's like to be a parent full time. Because you've not had that on your own full time. Because of course you were married, with her in the house and a bunch of other kids that were not biologically yours, and so now you're doing it on your own, and she's older, and so that's exciting too. Because kids take up so much of our time and everything, as we talked about, and we need that time to ourselves, and we need the time with our kids to figure this stuff out. So, yay for us.
Yeah. So what do you guys? So now you went out on last night, right?
Night before? Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah,
Best story ever.
So and
that was a first.
you guys were out there, single women, lots of men.
Oh yeah, they can smell it.
Oh yeah, they're smelling
Oh,
something.
man.
And did you want to
pheromones.
go home with anyone? Did you want to go on a date?
For me, no. When I go out to a bar, I know I'm not going to meet anything that I would want to make longer term. And I say that as a very general statement, but I'm like, Mr. Wright is not going to, I'm not going to meet him at the bar. Mr. Wright is successfully working on his business and himself at home right now. So I go out, I like to flirt, I like to talk. I don't drink. So when people want to buy me a drink, I'm now going to say, just give me $10 and I'll talk to you.
And she
for a
did
bit.
too, and it worked.
And it worked. It was great. But I'll let Amanda tell the rest of the story
Oh,
because
goodness.
I want to see what her perspective of it was.
Oh man, it's just guys thinking that they, to buy us a drink, or they have some sort of ownership of us, or have some sort of I don't know. It was so weird. Guys
That's nauseating. But I think guys do that because they are probably feel like they're probably insecure and they have to like overcompensate by being superior.
Oh yeah. It was a clash of four men, two different groups, feeling like they had rights over us because they said they were going to pay for our drinks.
Interesting.
And it was getting in faces and pushing each other. And I'm sitting there like smiling and watching it go down like it's a TV channel. And she's trying to like break it up. And I'm like, don't even bother. Just watch it. Like,
Yeah, let it unfold.
they're being fools.
They were fools. But my role in this was I can see me being dragged into their foolishness because in my head, I unfolded a whole bar fight where there's glasses flying everywhere and loud noises and tables
That's
and chairs
fun.
being
I wanted to
pushed.
get
I
in a
would've
bar
still
fight a
sat
couple
there.
of nights ago, and that didn't happen, you guys.
Dang it. Maybe that's going to be our goal for this week is to get into to cause a bar fight.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
Don't become too
almost.
attached. Don't try to stop it. I was sitting there smiling, watching it. I was like,
No, it just caught me
so
so
watching
off guard.
humans and their melodramas, it's like I can be so outside of it and just watch it. And it's just entertainment.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I tried to not be a part of it.
So
but
what are you guys doing with your free time now that you don't have men in it?
Ooh. Redecorating my home.
Cabinets.
Cabinets. I've
Masturbating.
I'm trying to.
yeah,
Jesus.
not a lot of that.
Oh, I do.
No, I even detach from that part of myself because it's just like all of it. Like I'm tuning in literally into this little girl version of myself, and just really my home is my refuge, and so I've really wanted to upgrade some things, and so I've really tuned into my home and perfecting it, or I love organizing, and that's a fun one.
Cabinets.
And so I've been doing that, and I'm getting another cat.
Oh, no.
no.
Now she's the crazy cat lady. Everybody was this
How many
number
cats
5?
do you have?
3.
Oh,
So it'll be
currently.
4.
Oh, crazy cat lady. What's the threshold on that?
I think 4 is the limit at 40.
Is it?
And then at 50, I think you get another one.
You get to upgrade
That
to another
sounds
cat.
awful.
Yeah.
The other one may have died.
And what are you doing with your free time, Beverly?
I am trying
And
to
how do you
catch up.
feel about it?
Oh, I love it. First of all, so I bought a new primary home, so I've just been working, and one thing that this relationship did bring me was awareness about how much I work and how much I give my time to organizations in the area. And so I made a list of 8 things that I was a president of, co-chair, member, whatever, and I said goodbye to all of it. So most all of it.
So
There's-
proud of her.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was awesome, and it just freed up so much of my time. And none of that had included taking care of me and my kids, my household, or actually selling real estate. So I was like, no wonder I feel like I'm not working, because I'm not. I'm one board meeting to the next. So I am so happy to just breathe and just let it go. So I moved homes, and so my time's been filled with let's unpack, let's move in, let's hang stuff up. Oh, that's right, I kept my other home, so now I need to rent that out. And and all of that. So honestly, I say this with, I don't know, with foresight. I know that it will slow down in a moment once I get settled with my home. But I say that knowing like we're 40-year-old adults, something else is going to take our time. But no, I'm so excited to just not have to do anything other than take care of my kids and sell real estate. But I don't have to cater to somebody. I don't have to be somebody's mother. I don't have to go to this meeting. I don't have to do that meeting. And so I'm excited, honestly, to answer that question. I'm excited to find out what I am going to do. Once the house stuff gets settled, then I'm ready to enjoy me again. Yeah, crafting, reading books at night.
Sitting in the hot tub, looking at the stars.
Doing whatever I want. I'm excited about it. So how about you, Heather? What do you do in your free time?
Well, I am currently dating someone.
Oh, yeah. Get off of this podcast.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah.
Wait, but
And he seems like a gem.
Oh, absolutely. And I met him at a bar.
No, that's so funny. Well, there you go. That's telltale sign number one. Good luck.
And so I've known him a little over 6 months now. But it's really been really great and refreshing, actually, because my whole goal and intent and purpose was to maintain myself, my sense of being and who I am, and to still like maintain relationships with other people and not just lose myself in a relationship or with someone, right? And he's been a really amazing example of that. He's never been married. He doesn't have kids. He's been untethered. And he's been a free spirit. He does whatever the hell he wants to do whenever the fuck he wants to do it, right?
Yep.
And so it's been really refreshing to see kind of how we spend time together and then how we spend time apart and how we basically, I think we really equally try not to put very many expectations on each other, you know, but there is definitely a desire to see each other and spend time together and stuff. And so it's been really fun to feel my way through this relationship and dating him and creating those, you know, understanding that it's vital for us to have our own time and vital for us to be individuals and to be sovereign beings in a relationship. And it's just, for me, like new territory in a lot of ways. And so I've been really having fun exploring that and just like really growing through that with myself too, because I'm learning a lot from him and I'm learning a lot in with myself in it. And so on my free time, so he's established that Saturday night's his favorite night to go do things with his guy friends. I'm like, oh, fun. Great.
You get your
so
night too
I
now.
go out with my girlfriends. I spent a night helping you unpack or actually watch you unpack.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so that was great. Yes.
And then sometimes I really just enjoy just being by myself and not being around anyone. And I'll go hiking or like I write. And so I like to just step into that and just make sure that I'm not losing my creativity either, like my personal creativity, and making sure that I still am doing all of those things that I thrive on in making, because I love being an entrepreneur and I love business and doing all of that stuff. So, you know, right now I'm in the process of developing a new business and that's really exciting too. So yeah, there's stuff and it's been really great and refreshing.
You said something very influential there for me, was not losing yourself. I would have never have thought that my foundation of who I thought I was would be shaken, but it was in that relationship.
Yeah, it was surprising to see such a strong woman start losing herself. And so it can happen to anyone. Like
It happened
love
to me.
is crazy.
Yeah,
how
and
you could
Well,
lose
is
yourself.
it love?
And that's I remember telling
true.
him one time, I said, is this love? And he's like, and I said, what is love anymore? What is it? And there's this song by Odessa and it's called It's Only, and it's only fire, it's only water, it's only love. And the point
Oh,
of
I
that
love
song
that
was,
song.
it's just fire, it's just water. Like these aren't big deals. It's just love. Like it's not a big deal. And so that, what is love? Like that I questioned myself. I questioned myself just period in that relationship. And I can't believe that I got to where I did with it. And she knows how low down I felt about myself. And so that is very powerful. So now in all of my processing, that's going to be added. Like I never thought that I would lose myself, but holy crap, that was scary. And so thank you. That's what a great thing to work towards is if I do want a relationship again, which I mean, again, I feel like I do, right? Like I want to have somebody there, but at the same time, it doesn't have to look like the Kool-Aid that they all fed to us. It doesn't have to look like you move in together. It doesn't have to look like you live together. No, it looks like whatever you want. You and your guy don't live together. No. You see each other when you see each other, and that's totally fine. You guys are thriving. And
I don't want to get married.
Yeah,
I like my own space. He enjoys his own space, you know?
Yeah.
And just honoring that and respecting it for each other too.
Yeah.
You know? But the other thing I wanted to say is that I'm in the practice of pulling runes in the morning. Are you guys familiar with what runes are?
I am.
So they're symbols.
Runes. Like a tarot card, if you will, but they're stones.
Yeah. Or they can be on like wood discs, but they're symbols way back. Like they're like old Nordic symbols. And they are kind of like considered oracle cards, like an oracle card. So you pull a rune and the symbol represents something. So there's a rune that's a perfect even X, like two even lines across each other that makes this X. And that is the rune of partnership. And there's a beautiful thing in there where it says, in a beautiful relationship or in a partnership with someone, you let the wind pass between yourselves.
Yeah, give us some time.
Always, though.
Time and distance.
Yeah, like you
that.
always make sure that you let the wind pass between each other so that you can just give each other that space and time. We don't always have to be constantly talking to each other or constantly being with each other, although I really love that with him.
Of course.
But it doesn't have to be all the time. But, you know, and just really savoring that stuff and learning that type of balance.
It just feels comfortable.
It does. I really like putting my arm up here.
Yes. So this seems to be a trend. So I have the Sex and the City series. Gosh, I started watching that show way too young. But now in a woman, I'm 40, I started watching it again. I was in my 20s and then in my 30s. And so after all these breaks, I watched them again. I'm like, that show is just gold. I swear. They go through things. And there's one right now where
relatable.
It is
ridiculously
where one of them is
relatable.
moving in with her guy and he had asked, like, why don't we just move in? And she was freaked out. She's like, I just really like my space. I just like my time. I'm like, that's me. I like my space. I like my time. She's like, you're going to see my sponges and they're dirty and they smell and I don't want you to have to see all that. And I'm like, it's true, because when you live with somebody, they see everything, and hopefully you're divulging everything about yourself, not lying about it, but and then you see these things about people, and you're
there's
like,
such social pressures too. Do you know how many people tell me, they're like, when are you going to move in? Are you going to meet his parents? Have you met his parents? I was like, oh my gosh, it's just been like almost like 7 months. Like, seriously.
well, you should have been engaged on my terms by then. So.
It's like drives me insane. I can't stand it. I just feel like I need to correct people.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that. Why makes you think that I need to do that?
Exactly. Or when
That's
people
not normal.
are married for a long time, when are you going to start having kids? I'm like,
God, I hate that.
Why? Yeah, I love that point, that perspective. Like, why does anybody care? And I got it with mine.
Mind your own fucking business and butt out.
Seriously, is people say, wow, that was really fast. I'm like, I mean, yes, it was, but still, like, who wrote the book on any of this? Who are you to tell me that was quote unquote too fast? Because I heard all the stories. My aunt and uncle, they've been married for, I don't know, 40 or so years. They got married within 6 months. One gal who saw us on our first date, I knew her. She got married 5 weeks. They eloped, and they're still together. And I'm like, wow. So there's cases for both. But it's like, why does everybody think that they have a say? Like, just be happy for me, or oh, hey, looks good for you. Best of luck. Whatever.
Yeah.
Keep on moving.
Are
you
you
don't have to
happy?
ask questions. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't even need to ask me if I'm happy. Mind your own business. Don't worry if I'm happy or not. I'm just kidding. But seriously, no one needs to put their opinions on things. Like, we all grew up in different ways. Thank you.
Perception. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I keep on kicking you.
I kick you too. We're just all playing footsie with each other. So, speaking of, I watched, this is a fun side quest. I went to a class the other day, and it was about body language. And this guy's so awesome to watch. But he said, when you walk into a room, if a guy is attracted to you, he will pull his socks up. And
Interesting.
So, and because they want to look their best.
I thought it was because they're going to rub their package.
No, what is that? What? Oh no, they do that anyways. That's just normal man behavior. But and so
It's like a tick.
I'm just gonna touch myself. Yeah, but they'll pull their socks up. So ladies, if you're ever out and you see a man pull his socks up and he's looking at you, he's got the eyes for you. So
I just know that he's into me when I see an erection.
yeah, I was gonna say, when you see his dick in your face, you know he's turned on. He's into
As
you.
Kim Anami would say, you know, no, it wasn't Kim Anami. It was that chick who wrote the book Pussy.
Oh gosh,
What's her name? Anyway, she's like, erect
Regina.
Regina something. She was like, erect a monument in your honor by just like making eye contact with the guy across the room.
Funny. I love it. So true. So true. Man. But yeah, that body language thing was really fascinating. And just to use in our everyday life, you know, like where we're sitting and how we're posed. But the point of that story was that they pull their socks up, but playing footsie, as we were all just doing, came from some olden times. So anyways.
So I think this is a really vital thing. And this is, I'm going back to when I wasn't dating and I literally was not trying to be in a relationship and didn't really pursue anything energetically with a man.
You mean Dating 101 last year when we recorded this?
Yes. And so the key important vital factor is that you stay turned on. Literally turn yourself on. Be that radiant, joyful person. Fucking play with yourself. Like love your body, date yourself. Like be the most playful, soft, gorgeous goddess that you are, because we lose ourselves in that and we forget that and we think we need that from a man, and that is self-derived. And so that was one thing that I really worked on when I was really exclusively single.
I love that. I'm exclusively single. Thank you.
Like I did a lot of yoni egg work. I totally like wanted to heal the womb on a massive level because I was like, I never want to attract anything that I had in that previous relationship ever. And so that time that we take is such an important time to make sure that we love ourselves. We give ourselves tender loving care. We give ourselves a foot massage. You know, we do all of those things for us that we would lose ourselves in doing for someone else. Right. And there's nothing wrong with doing things like that for someone else. But you just have to make sure, though, that while you have this time, that you don't close your womb off.
Yeah.
Because that is where abundance comes from. That's where money comes from, right? That's our creative zone right there. And so you got to love it and masturbate it and coo at your pussy and be like, I love you so much. You're the most amazing thing ever.
Don't need to tell me twice.
I know.
Is it 12 yet?
It's 12 nooner time.
Nooner time. Sean's over there in the corner. Well, and again, that's such a great point. Is I told her, I said, I am absolutely disgusted, and I cannot pronunciate that harder, disgusted with the amount of time, energy, money, and effort I have spent on men my whole life. My whole life. Because all I wanted to begin with was somebody to pay me attention. Because like I said, I was the big girl. No one ever wanted to pay attention to me. All I wanted was attention, right? Attention. All I wanted was someone to look at me. And then you start sleeping with people and like,
then
oh,
you
they
get attention.
slept with me. And it's not, it's special. No, that's not special. It was just sex, right? And then you learn, now I'm healing from that. And then you get married, and you all you wanted was to get married your whole life and have kids. You drank the Kool-Aid because your parents, everyone's telling you this is what you do. But my whole freaking life, probably from, I don't know, when did we have our first crush? 13, 14, whatever it was. My whole life I've been spent energy, time, effort, money on men. I'm like, no. So if you're looking to date me, just know I will never, ever again open up my wallet to you. So you can thank my ex for that. So, but really just spending time, like you've said, spending time to know who you are. And I read something the other day. I feel like I'm in the in-between of my life. My career is great. My kids are cool. But for me personally, I went through this hard thing. I bought this house. I was full-time single mom again. And going through all these things, I'm like, can I just stand still for a minute? Like, I just want to stand still. Yeah. I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to change brokerages at work. I don't want to buy a different car. I did buy a new house, but I kind of wish you switched brokerages. Well, it might happen. We'll see. I just need to be still. I need to figure me out. I'm in the in-between because I honestly, again, I think I said the last podcast, I don't really know what I want. And that's why I took that sabbatical. And now I think I know even less of what I want, but more of what my soul wants, if that makes sense. Like I've set some boundaries on, no, I'm not moving in with a man until then.
Don't you feel like you've blossomed though?
Oh, absolutely. Because
like I've seen you really blossom just since then when you've had more alone time. Like I see you more intuitive. I'm seeing you literally being more like that empathic person.
Oh yeah, I think it's because like when you come out of something, traumatic. A relationship. And, when you have like self-awareness, you really step back and tune in, like, whoa, what happened? And it's just like, wow. And that's what's been happening is it's just like this complete self-consciousness of like, whoa.
I came out of the fog, like you said.
Came out of the fog.
I never thought that I could feel so beat down mentally about myself. Nothing, well, and things happened, but I started to believe these things that were being told to me, and then not only told outside to me, but also that sick little thing in my head was like, oh, you're upset because you know that's a little bit true. And I'm like, but no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, no, this is not me. And so coming out of that trauma, and whether this or another one, I'm having that awareness like, I let go of what? What did I tell myself? What did I look past? I can't believe that. So now I'm in this processing and think I'm on my own. So I get to process all these little things like, he said this and I did that. And oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And yeah, just core soul rattling thing. And just like, I feel like I don't know who I am right now. So I'm like building that up and saying, no, I am that strong, confident woman. Just because someone told you that you weren't, not in so many words, but I get to find me again. So thank you, ladies, for saying those things, because it does feel good to say, oh yeah, I'm finding myself again.
Yeah.
She's there.
And there's no failure with breaking up with someone. And there isn't a failure for not being in a relationship long term either.
And
there's just so much growth and learning and understanding that comes from it. And also understanding to not put it in a box. Because that was the other thing, is that I created all of these red flag lists and these filters on something that I needed to like be aware of and run far away and fast if it showed up. And I knew that the next person that I would be in a relationship with, I couldn't put that on them. I literally had to approach this with 100% clean slate and let all of the things about him and all of the things about me happen organically without any other influences from other people or past relationships. And I feel like that is so valuable and vital to do. Otherwise, we just literally just like screw ourselves out of probably something amazing or soul growth or amazing adventures, you know, all of the above. So I know it's so easy to say at this point that no, I'm not going to move in with someone until X amount of time, or no, I won't get engaged until X amount of time. But that puts it in a box and also limits, you know, that growth. So you just got to let that next relationship that you get into, just let it be as it is without any filters on it from previous experiences, because then you give that person an ability to breathe and be themselves and express themselves, because it's really fascinating when you show up with like this expectation or these thoughts that something could be from a particular statement that they make, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Are you following me?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I get a little too deep.
No, I got you.
And
Go
esoteric.
deeper.
But then you almost project that on them, and then they respond and react in that way. So there's an energy that we put into someone when we're engaging with them on a perception or perspective that we have, right? And so then we almost create that.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
It's super important to literally just wipe that clean slate and be like, all those red flags are gone. Get rid of all of those red flags. Get rid of all of those things like do's and don'ts. Get rid of all of it and just approach it. And it's so hard to be vulnerable.
You can't have had a felony within the last 2 years.
Oh, okay. Felonies for sure.
Things like that, you know.
Yeah. Child molester.
Yeah, and not going to date somebody with that wild of a record. But I mean, so some of the, I totally see that, and I mimic that, because when I was in this relationship, I said, listen, I know we've both dated other people in the past, and I know you are none of those people, and I know I am none of those people. With that said, there's going to be times and moments when I can only speak for myself, where I know I'm going to get triggered. You're going to do something, or I'm going to hear something, or I'm going to see something, and I'm going to be triggered of a past relationship or whatever. And please have some grace with me, because I know you're not any of these people. That was really hard to get over, though, because, and I think it was hard to get over because my gut was screaming at me not the entire relationship, a lot of the relationship on, no, this is not right. No. And I'm like, shh, quiet, it's fine. But because I did know who I was and I did know myself. And when those things would come up, if we did or we didn't talk about them, it's just hard to let some of those things go, where your heart, your soul, everything who you are has been hurt at such a deep level at some point in your life because of, I don't know, he didn't open the door for me, and that sounds silly, but that was a huge trigger for me. And just like, okay, calm it down and let's talk about it, and it's going to be okay. Or process it through your head like, no, he's not these people. And just because he didn't open the door for me doesn't mean he's going to, I don't know, beat my kids or something, right? Like totally pulling these out of my pocket. But being able to process it and knowing that you're right, Heather, is you don't need any of that from the past, but I still feel like my tattoo signifies looking at the back just enough to learn and move forward. So I want to learn and move forward and be like, I think
there's like two different types of like dating. I think there's intentional dating where you have that level of self-awareness. And then there's the dating where you're just trying to fill the emptiness.
Oh, absolutely.
All the
Which I think
emptiness.
is most of dating seems like it's filling an emptiness.
Emotional, like they're wanting to have somebody love them because they don't love themselves, or have them feel,
validate them.
Validate them.
That's a powerful statement. You're absolutely right. Like I will be more intentional. Like right now, I have no intention of getting into anything with anybody. So I'm just staying away from it, but knowing someday I'm going to want to date again.
It's because you don't trust yourself. So you've got to get back to that point where you do trust yourself. I know it took a long time for me too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And it's been like we've already beaten to a horse, or a dead horse. I allowed myself to get so low down when I never thought that could be. And so, yeah, I'm like scared, turned off right now. I'm like, oh, nope, I'll just do my crafts and unpack my house. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
I think
parent
like
those kids.
I've spent, 40 plus, let's say you start being interested in guys at like 13, like so many years with that nagging in your head or trying to fix a relationship. And then it's like when you let that go, you really tune into the inner healing. And I feel like I feel so grateful for where I'm at right now, where like I'm not even considering dating because it's like I've dated so long and I've had so many like weird relationships and dates, and I'm just like, why can't we just like
I love
put that
how
on?
Beverly's laughing because I know she knows all the stories.
Oh yeah. Like why can't we just put that on pause and tend to ourselves?
Yes.
And I love that. I'm in a space where I don't think about like on a Saturday night, like, ooh, who am I gonna like flirt with? Who am I gonna like see? Like it's just like, no, like what am I gonna read? What pot am I gonna plant? And what
cabinet am I going to put together?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, what pot am I going to smoke?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But,
This is
yeah.
plant talk, real plant.
So I think like when I will be ready to date again, I just feel like vibrationally I've been attracting men that are coming from this vibration of pain or something. So yeah, you got to take responsibility for who you're attracting. It's not just them. It's like
Right.
there's something in you that's attracting it.
That's what the realization I came to also. And I'm just like, fuck no, I'm not going to attract any of those things. So I needed to change that within me.
Yeah, take
and
that
be consciously
pause.
aware of it. Yeah, and there's some healing that needs to happen.
Yeah, so that's like what I'm doing now. It's like I'm putting a break on it and tending to what it is really like. And Bev knows, like, when you. A lot of women are more in their masculine because we have to be. And, I feel like to find a really true masculine man, we have to be our true feminine selves. And that's what I'm working on being, is just being very
Tapping
feminine.
into the divine feminine.
Being more emotional, because I'm not a very emotional person. I'm like, I just want to be emotional. And I'm like with Sunshine, it's like, her seeing me cry is important for her because she's very unemotional.
So she knows it's okay to cry also.
And yeah, so like me breaking my walls down, it's like healing me, and she's it's okay to cry. So yeah, like after a few years, I think my vibrational fields will be better to attract a higher level human.
You're still hoping.
Yeah, here's to open.
I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
so
We clearly have mistakes.
NLP, I trained in neuro-linguistic programming, and there's a technique in there where you can literally just tell your unconscious mind. You can just surrender and say, I can keep all of the learnings of the past, and you don't even have to be consciously present and aware of those learnings. You can just literally tuck it into your unconscious mind and say, I'm going to take all the learnings from that, and then you just move on. And then it helps us to not carry this baggage. And it also helps us to be freer and be more, we are so meant to be joyful beings. We are meant to be childlike. And especially as women, we are meant to be fluid, soft. We're meant to be creative and in the flow and slow down more. We are meant to operate slower. And because that's when that intuition comes in. That's when all of those divine qualities that we have as women comes in. And so we need to just really make sure we're seeking that and then we're keeping that being integrous with it.
And remembering who we are. Because you get stuck or not stuck, or you get into a
I don't know if
relationship.
it's even remembering who you are, but just
Discovering who you are.
Well, for
because
me,
we do
I
shift
forgot
and
who I
change,
was.
right?
Yeah.
That's true. In a relationship, you do lose yourself, right? Sometimes if you aren't careful. But yeah, there's all of those processes. It's discovering yourself, and then once you've discovered yourself, then it's literally, is this the person I want to be? What things can I change and shift? And we're always changing and shifting.
Yep.
Always.
Every moment of every day is changing, and can't cling
Death
on
and
to
rebirth.
what's changing by design.
I did death and rebirth 3 times one day. Just kidding.
Sounds like a really good high.
right?
What do you got?
Substance free. It was breath work.
Sure.
Just kidding.
Yeah. For the podcast, it was breath work. I promise. I'm going to say that. Anytime I say, oh, yeah, it was
It
breath
was
work.
actually multiple
you'll
orgasms that
You'll know.
happened.
Oh, I'll sign up for that breath work for sure.
Yeah.
Man. So anyways, here we are. Now, the Dating 102, you are dating somebody. I am back to single and choosing that, and you are single and choosing it, and life is great.
I'm so
Fuck
excited
yeah.
that we're both in alignment together on this.
Yeah.
Because like we both
You guys have been friends since how old?
4th grade.
Whoa.
93.
Ooh.
Now, and
You
people
guys are
already know who
very
we are.
close.
Totally.
People think we're sisters.
We're so close we look alike.
Yeah.
I think we've morphed into looking more alike the older we get somehow.
Probably. We get it frequently. Are you guys sisters? We got it on Saturday night.
I swear every time we go out, somebody says something
It's
about
probably
it.
just their pickup line, right? Let's break the
Right.
ice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us, Heather.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This was
Thanks for
fun.
coming on. Thank you for sharing all of your
come on.
deep, dark secrets. Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Stay
it.
tuned for part 3.
Thank you for listening to the I Drink the Kool-Aid podcast. Join us next time. If you'd like to participate in this discussion, get a hold of us at idrinkthekooladpodcast@gmail.com. Now let me ask you, what flavor of Kool-Aid are you drinking?
This has been a production from a podcast studio.